of course, we have to start with the champs. Mm-hmm. The champ is here, the Celtics.
Yes, sir.
Ante, let's start with the elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. Do we believe that this team will repeat as champions? Give me that answer, and then we'll work backwards from there.
So the official prediction.
Yes.
Yes. The Celtics will win the NBA championship this year.
I agree.
They will repeat. There's nothing standing in their way besides health. Okay. That's all I'm worried about today. I'm worried, when does Porzingis come back into the fold? Do guys have issues with accepting their roles when he comes in? Because when he comes back, as we saw from Mazzulla, he's not afraid to play guys. He played Tatum 34 minutes at the end of the last game of the preseason.
Diabolical.
So they will play guys. When he comes back, he's probably playing 30 minutes a night off rip.
Right.
So guys are going to have to get used to that and figure out what roles they were in.
Yeah.
Probably 30, 40 games into the season and change them up.
Yeah, I would agree. So we definitely agree on the repeat bid, right?
Yep.
I would agree on the Porzingis side of things as well in terms of figuring out the rotation from there. But that's a beautiful problem to have, obviously. It's an embarrassment of riches, the talent that's on the Celtics team. My guess would be January. Porzingis is back. And then you would think conventional wisdom, he comes back. There's sort of a pitch count, minutes restriction type deal with him. But as Ante laid out, I mean, Joe Mazzulla proved to you he is as diabolical as they get. Okay, playing Tatum that long in the damn preseason is crazy. I think it was his ode to Jayson Tatum to say, hey, look, man, I ain't Steve Kerr. I love you. I'm going to play all the minutes, even in the preseason. But with that being said, if Porzingis comes back into the fold in January, Ante, I have to believe it is right back to business. Yeah. There is no damn pitch count. Now, what they did a great job of last season, I thought, with Porzingis, and we know he got hurt in the postseason anyway, but during the regular season, he played minutes. Yeah. There was no minutes restriction, but they limited the games, the amount of games he played. Yeah. Certain back-to-backs you didn't play. Certain, every fourth or fifth game they'd sit him just as precaution. I thought that was smart. So I think you could see more of that whenever he comes back. But in terms of once he's back, they'll figure out the rotation because he's getting minutes.
Yeah, he is. I'm interested to see what Mazzulla does with the bigs while Porzingis is out. You have Cater there, who everybody is excited about. He's been there in the G League, but the minutes are probably not going to be there for him. He's been starting Luke Cornett. Horford, we know, is going to get major minutes for them. And then they have, a couple of other guys that they're thinking about playing at the 4, at the 5. We're going to see what happens there. I'm interested to see, is he going to be able to lean on Cornett how he has been able to lean on him throughout the preseason. Now, he went up against bigs that weren't that great besides Jokic.
Right.
And so it's going to be a little different to see how he guards when he has to guard more physical bigs like Joel Embiid, or when he has to guard more dynamic bigs like a Wemby, who really space it out to 3 and really do some Porzingis-type things. Are they really going to stick with Cornett as the starter?
Yeah.
Because getting off the slow starts when teams have targets aimed at your back could spell trouble for this Celtics team.
Now, as you look at their path through the Eastern Conference, and by the way, for those of you who watch this show all the time and listen to the show all the time, first of all, thank you. Secondly, these are all predictions we've made over the course of several Hold My Banners, so you can always go back and look at our predictions, but we're just recapping them quickly now. So as you look at the path for the Celtics through the East, I'll just ask you this, because we all know the contenders anyway. That's boring stuff. We talk that all the time.
Right.
My question to you is this season's path through the East just as easy as last season, or do you believe it'll be harder? Because I have completely flipped my prediction. I thought this, with the improvements to those contenders this offseason, I thought the path through the East would be tougher. But after watching the preseason, seeing how diabolical Joe Mazzulla truly is by playing all these stars big minutes, and everyone, by the way, is locked in and ready to go. Thank God no one got injured, because then we'd be tearing them apart, right? But everyone's dialed in. We know Tatum's ticked off from how he was treated in the offseason with Team USA. We know Jaylen Brown, all that drama. So I'm looking at this as this team's going to be locked in from day one and mow through the Eastern Conference again. My answer is it will be the same outcome Different teams, maybe, but the same outcome in terms of the Celtics demolishing them all and getting to the finals. When they get to the finals, I believe they'll be challenged more this season. More on that later. But in the East, easier path, just like last year, or will it be tougher?
No, I think it's going to be tougher. I don't agree with you. I do think I like what the Knicks have done. I do like what this Bucks team comes in with a full offseason, with a coach that they're going to keep for the entire season. I like that with them having stability there. I like what the 76ers did this offseason. Okay. We'll talk about it. I'm a little nervous with the injury history that they have going on right now with Jared McCain going down. Hopefully he's all right. We're waiting to hear back on that. Paul George luckily escaped a major injury, which is huge for that 76ers team. But we're already seeing a team where we were nervous about Embiid being hurt. Now the other guys are already missing time before the season even starts. Possibly we'll see about Jared McCain. So I think, but other than that, I think these teams have gotten really, really just solidified and with each other. There's a lot of continuity in the East besides the Knicks and the 76ers. Most of these teams have the exact same guys. Maybe they added a piece here, a piece there to get better, but it's the same starting cast for most of these teams. So most of these teams are ready to continue to be together and play hard against the Celtics.
Well, that's the beauty, too, of a 7-game series, right? Like, all these teams have improved, no doubt about it. They look better, and even if you didn't improve in major strides, you do it. To your point, you're gelled, your chemistry's there, you're running it back, and you hope to be healthy and take your best shot at the Celtics. But in the best of a 7-game series, I'm sorry, the best team always wins. So I'm with you. The Celtics run through the East. You think it's tougher? I think it's just as easy. I think maybe in the playoffs you could be having a tougher road. So we'll get to that. Let's break down what the playoffs will look like, not only for the Celtics, but for the entire league. In fact, let's just get this hoops party started. I mean, we have a great party going with me and Ante, but sometimes you just got to drop a little something in the bucket right here and get the party jumping, and you know who it is. The pride of New Jersey.
Oh, man.
George Malecki here for our hoops party. Get in there. Get comfortable.
Up on this chair. Yeah, I'm going to sit down here.
That's too funny.
That's like Thanksgiving where there's a grown-up table and a little kid table. Yeah. There we go. Get in here. Honored. Get in here, would you?
All
right, so look,
crossover here.
Before we start getting into all the predictions, you heard our conversation about the Celtics. I know we're talking league-wide with you, but we have to give the floor to you, sir. We must get your Celtics predictions before we go league-wide.
I've said it on this very program.
Yeah, you have.
Ante's been so gracious to have me on. Celtics are repeating. Until I'm proven otherwise. I doubted them last postseason. When I doubted them, I had that feeling in my gut because the way they match up on just the simplicity of how they took on the Mavericks. When you have Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown, who can be the most physical defenders on the floor, take on the toughest assignments. And then you have Jayson Tatum waiting in the back, too, to take on that third best player. The physicality can't be matched. How Jayson Tatum became a guy that would run your offense on one end of the floor in the playoffs, then would play the 5 on the other end. And they did it without 100% Kristaps Porzingis. This team is so deep. They brought the core back. They got better in shooting, bringing in Lonnie Walker to replace O'Shea Brissett. Joe Mazzulla is a perfect type of psycho and the perfect flavor of psycho to get this team to repeat. I believe in the coaching. I believe in, obviously, the two superstars. Both guys are inspired and motivated this offseason. Celtics will repeat. It's going to be tougher through the East. And as excited as I am to get into talking Knicks, this is going to be a Celtics back-to-back.